From a spooky 3,200-year-old tale written on broken pottery pieces to amateur YouTube videos of ghost chases, frightening tales of apparitions, demons, and goblins have been documented since ancient times and continue to fascinate people today. Although these paranormal events aren't supported by science, they have persisted throughout history. Here's a look at some of the most frightening cases. Number 1. A 1200 BC ghost story from Egypt. In 1915, Egyptologist Gaston Maspero published a translation of an ancient Egyptian ghost story, possibly set in Luxor, ancient Thebes shown above, that was discovered on 4 pieces of pottery. In the story, a ghost of a mummified man tells a high priest of the god Amun about his current condition. I grew, and I did not see the rays of the sun. I did not breathe in the air, but darkness was before me every day, and no one came to find me, the ghost says. Translation by Maspero. The ghost seems to complain of some ancient accident that has happened to himself or to his tomb, but I cannot make out what is the subject of his dissatisfaction, Maspero wrote. The ancient Egyptians believed strongly in life after death and created a series of spells called Book of the Dead, which they believe helped them reach the afterlife. Image credit to Jose Ignacio Soto at Shutterstock.com. Ghost of Tupo. Tupo was an ancient Chinese ghost with revenge on his mind. Before he died, Tupo served as a minister of China. Emperor Song lived 1827 to 1827 to 17. Say that again. Lived 827 to 783 BC. The two had a disagreement, and Son had Tupo passed away in about 786 BC, despite warnings that Tupo would come back and haunt him. Tupo did a lot more than haunt the emperor. 3 years later, in 783 BC, Son passed away with an arrow fired by an apparition resembling Tupo in front of an assembly of feudal lords, wrote Chinese philosopher Mo Zhu, lived 470 to 391 BC. Translation by Yaipo Mei from The Complete Book of Ghosts by Paul Rowland. Image credit, which you don't really see, so there's no usual reason to see this, or / public domain courtesy at Wikimedia. Number 3. Chain Man in Ancient Athens. Roman Senator Pliny the Younger, who died in AD 113, told a ghost tale so haunting that it survives to this day. There was There was at Athens a large and roomy house, which had a bad name, so that no one could live there in the dead of the night. A noise resembling the clashing of iron was rattling in chains. Disturbances that led to the appearances of a specter form of an old man, of extremely emaciated and squalid appearance, with a long beard and disheveled hair, rattling the chains on his feet and hands. Needless to say, the house was abandoned and had been rented out for a cheap price. When a philosopher named Athenodorus heard the story, he reportedly rented the house and confronted the ghost. The ghost appeared and rattled around before vanishing. Athenodorus calmly marked the spot where the ghost vanished, and in the morning ordered that the spot be dug up. The story goes. Image credit, Nick Pavlakis, Shutterstock.com. Nope. This was accordingly done, and the skeleton of a man in chains was found there. For the body, having lain in considerable time in the ground, was putrid. You know what? I'm not going to read the rest of that. After being given a proper burial, the ghost departed, and the house was haunted no more, according to Pliny's tale, translated from Pliny the Younger, the Harvard Classics, 1909 to 1914. Boarded up bathhouse. The writer Plutarch, who lived from AD 45 to 110, tells a ghost story that it has a much sadder ending than the one from Athens. In the city of Cheronia, Greece, there was a boy named Damon who attracted the attention of a Roman military commander who apparently loved him. Historical records suggest Damon refused the commander's advances, enraging him. Knowing that he would die if he did nothing, Damon got a group of friends together, ambushed the Roman commander and other several Roman soldiers, basically killing them. The city council of Cheronia condemned Damien and his friends to death. After that proclamation, Damien, who had not been killed, had the council members killed. Damon and his friends then took to the countryside, plundering it. Eventually, the townspeople allowed Damon to return, but he was killed shortly afterward in the local bathhouse. I'm sorry. And because for a long while thereafter, certain phantoms appeared in the place, and groans were heard there. As our fathers tell us, the door of the vapor bath was walled up. And to this present time, the neighbors think it the source of alarming sights and sounds. Plutarch wrote, translation from Loeb Classical Library, 1914. Lying statue, image credit, Philip. The Tower of London. Britain's numerous castles are hotspots for ghost stories. The 900-year-old Tower of London is said to contain numerous ghosts. And the Queen's House is considered by tower officials to be one of the most haunted locations. Among the ghosts in the Queen's House is that of Arabella Stuart, cousin of King James I. Arabella made the mistake of marrying against the king's wishes and was sent to the tower as punishment. According to the ghost story, she is still serving her time. In another spooky tale, a phantom bear is said to haunt one section of the Tower of London, called the Morton Tower. A guard who saw the phantom bear is said to have dropped dead from the shock. The Tower of London served as a menagerie for part of its history and held a variety of animals, including bears. Okigahara Woods at Okigahara Woods, located at the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan. I'm not gonna really say this, but basically a bunch of lifeless stuff was found. So that's all I'm gonna say on there. And the forest has become a popular place for troubled Japanese citizens. Today, there are signs in the forest urging people not, and asking them to seek help. Giving them, ghost stories abound, including several alleged encounters with the apparitions for those who passed away there, which be seen on YouTube. Exorcism of Roland Doe. In 1949, a boy from Cottage City, Maryland, who was referred to as Roland Doe, it's not his real name, underwent an exorcism performed by a group of Roman Catholic priests, accounts suggest. There are conflicting reports as to Roland's alleged powers. Some stories claim that Roland had supernatural strength, could speak in ancient languages that the boy had no knowledge of, and could apparently move or levitate the mattress he was flying on. Since 1949, investigators have called it into question many of these claims, providing evidence to suggest that Roland was a psychologically troubled boy who hated to attend school and that his abilities were far from supernatural. In any event, the exorcism took place. These events inspired a 1971 novel called The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, which in return inspired the famous 1973 movie. Oh boy, this is a good one. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. In 1936, a photographer taking pictures of the 300-year-old Raynham Hall in Norfolk, UK, captured an image of an apparition floating down the stairs. It's one of the most famous ghost stories ever taken, although some experts believe it was caused by a double exposure. The manor, covering an area of 7,000 acres, has a long history of being haunted, And the BBC riots. Oh, sorry. And the BBC notes that the ghost may be of Lady Dorothy Townshend, the wife of the second Viscount of the estate. She died in 1726, supposedly of smallpox, after having an affair, which her husband, Lord Townshend, had learned about before her death. She is said to still wander the manor dressed in brown. So if you're wondering, the photo credit is by Hubert Proven. The CCTV ghost. Hampton Court is in Surrey, England, has a photogenic ghost of its own. In 2003, a CCTV camera caught an image of a skeletal figure clad in centuries-old clothing, closing a sturdy fire door that had flung open. The ghost, nickname Skeletor, attracted a great deal of media attention. It wasn't just security staff who thought they were seeing things. A visitor wrote in the palace's visitor book on the day that Skeletor appeared on camera that she too thought she had seen a ghost in the area. Officials wrote on the Hampton Court Palace website. I didn't know they had a website. Skeletor is not only ghostly inhabitant of Hampton Court Palace. Catherine Howard, one of Henry VIII's wives, was imprisoned there and supposedly dragged to her room, screaming all the way. The area she haunts is called the Screaming Gallery. And oh boy, a bunch of you have probably heard of this. Amityville. The Amityville haunting is perhaps the most famous ghost story in America. Ronald DeFeo Jr. was convicted for the 1974 crime. That's basically I'm all gonna say, because that's too graphic. In 1975, a new family, the Lutzes, moved into the Amityville home, having bought it at a discounted price. They lived there for less than a month. During that time, voices were heard around the house. Their daughter developed an imaginary friendship with a red-eyed pig called Jody. The house attracted swarms of flies. There was banging on the walls, and the furniture was said to move on its own, according to reports from the family. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in to investigate, and they had also reported encountering paranormal activity coming from the basement. Ed Warren said he was pushed to the floor of the basement by an unknown force. The house still stands today, although recent owners say it is not haunted. The 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, and a number of films are based on the story. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a little bit of a scary moment there. Or I hope you were scared a little bit, is what I meant to say. Vulcan99 signing out. Peace!